Hello, hello, my friend. How are you? It's Karen Hagberg here from Aspire Wellbeing, coming live on my personal Facebook page. And you may be watching it there, or you may be watching it on my YouTube. Wherever you're watching it, remember to like the video, subscribe, and if on YouTube, turn the notifications on. So I was reflecting on health is wealth just a few minutes ago, and I thought I better come on live and do a little sharing. I'm going to just leave it a minute or so and see so it's working. So whenever you are joining me, make sure that you write where you're from in the comments and how your day has been. I'd love to hear. So we're going to give it a bit of a moment and see so it's all working. I've had a big long day today, lots of things happening. Started my day with doing an exercise class. Then I was on to work on my online business, see a client, and then go back to the gym and help out there. And now I'm back here, and I was going to get into starting to plan and create my presentation for my Swedish friends. That is on in quite a few hours actually, but not that long. So to all my Swedish friends, a reminder, there will be a presentation happening 8 o'clock at night. I might post the information down here as well if you're on Facebook Live. If not, I'll give it another minute and let Facebook notify everyone and before we start. And today I am going to talk about health is wealth. As you can see, I'm a little bit emotional actually because I had a bit of a cry before, and I'm going to explain why, if I can. So please say hi. I'm going to do that because that's the confetti coming on the screen, cheering you guys who's here with me live now. As I said, if you watch it on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and you like and you write in the comments. So I'm going to get started, and I haven't planned anything out at all really what to share about this, but I was thinking as I came home and I listened to a video on Rumble that really did touch me a lot. It really touched my heart and I got really emotional. So let's talk a little bit about health. Now, often we go on in life and we are so focused and driven to make a living. Sometimes we do things that we are not really that passionate about. And we might end up a little bit imbalanced in life because work takes over the joy, maybe it takes too much time away from family, and it has a negative effect on our health, and eventually we'll be paying for it. So welcome you guys that are joining me now. I'm talking about health is wealth. So I'm just sharing from my heart. I haven't got anything planned. Because as I said, I was watching a Rumble video before that really touched my heart. And it hit that spot that I had to really release quite a few tears. And then I started thinking about what have we got if we don't have health? And because to me, health is wealth. It's always been one of the number one things. And first of all, obviously health, I'll talk a little bit about health and wellness, what it is. Because sometimes we just relate health to physical health, But it's so much more than that, isn't it? It's way more than physical health. As I said, some people really focus on just working so much they miss out on their family time, and they do something they're not really passionate about. And it takes its toll. So let me share what really touched me in this Rumble video that I was watching. You know, Rumble is another platform because you can, where you can share a little bit more deeper content that we're not allowed to share on these platforms here. And it was about the last 2 years and what's happening and what is going to happen. And it got me reflecting on the last 3 years. And it got me reflecting on how it actually impacted me personally. And that's when the tears came, because it was a huge release. How much it has affected me, but probably in a very different way to many other people. Because the last 3 years, as you know, people have perceived this, should I call it Operation C, in different ways. And we are all affected in some shape or form. There's been a lot of, obviously, health issues when it comes to the emotional and mental well-being. Obviously, it has had a huge impact on people, where people were excluded to be social with their families and friends. And that was one of the things that was really affecting me, because my daughter had a baby right during that period, and I wasn't allowed to go and see my firstborn granddaughter. And for a warrioress like I am, I did not like that at all. So that was pretty hard. That had a huge effect on my well-being. And then obviously the mental, emotional, we kind of forget sometimes how huge that is, because everything starts in the mind, and it's obviously how we perceive things. But, you know, if we are stressed in our mind, where it's hard to actually, you know, be really calm and not so affected, it can have very negative effect on our physical health, because obviously what we think and create certain emotions, certain emotional states, and then that in itself creates physical, manifest in the physical body, and that might take a bit of time. So for you guys that are coming in now, I'm talking about health is wealth and sharing from my heart, because I watched a Rumble video that was talking about what has been happening and what is happening and what's going to happen in the world. And I started reflecting on, I guess I'm definitely an empath. And the last 3 years have been massively huge. And it has had a very big impact on my health, because it comes out in different ways. So emotionally, massive impact. That has affected me physically, because I can definitely feel it in my body. So the mental health also been affected. The social well-being was also very affected. The occupational wellness was affected. And also the environment also got affected. And obviously, through all that, having that joy in life affected the spiritual wellness. So out of the wellness wheel, so to say, the different aspects of the wellness wheel, it had basically a not so positive impact in all the areas of my life. And please write in the comments how the last 3 years has impacted you when it comes to your health. So back to health. Health and wellness has always been my focus. It's been my occupation. It's been my highest value. It's been my spiritual side as well, because the health and wellness area, because that's really brought me a lot of joy, was also affected. So, you know, it's been my whole life working in the wellness field and wanting to help people not just physically feel good, but I guess that started more like that. It started more in, you know, getting people active, then very much in the nutritional space, then in the mindfulness space, then in mental training, the social aspects of having groups of people interacting and supporting each other. So that's been my whole life. So having had this experience in the last 3 years, where I knew in my heart that what was being handed out by, you know, to us as humanity, was not in our best interest, let's say that. I could feel it in every cell of my body. There were no doubt. It didn't make sense, and I saw through it. So to me, that was not about health and wellness. It was literally, what shall I say in a nice term? It was probably the darkest thing that I have ever experienced, because people's wellness has been affected, and you're talking globally. So I'm not just talking physically, guys. I'm talking about emotional, mental, spiritual, occupational, like all the areas of our lives basically became violated. And, you know, can I ask you guys that are watching this, and please write in the comments and really think about it. What have you got if you don't have health? Thinking about all those areas that I mentioned. You don't have your physical well-being. What is the first thing you want when you don't have it? You want what you don't have, don't you? You want to feel good. When you have pain, all your mind is consumed about is to get healthy again. And you start to look at everything around you. All of a sudden, the Mercedes-Benz is not so important anymore. You know, the gold necklace you got is not so important anymore, because all your focus will be towards looking after your to regain the health. So to have been violated as humanity in so many ways, it really hit me when I watched that video. Because as an empath, I was so, I guess I felt like I just had to hold it up somehow. I had to hold it up. I had to hold the light. I had to have the joy. I had to give love, because it was such a nasty operation. Because people would not take some people's advice. They only took other people's advice. So we've all been affected in so many ways by the last 3 years. And this year, 2024, will no doubt we're moving into a time of, I believe, I've always said the truth will come out and there will be disclosure. And then we'll have to deal with the effects of that. So anyone who's watching here now, listen carefully. Now our wellness and health is more than important than any time. Yes, for you, of course, you've got to be mentally strong, you've got to be emotionally prepared, you have to develop resilience, coping strategies for when things are coming out in the open more and more. Because us who have seen it in a different light will also have to be there for people even more when more of the truth comes out. So as I see it, the last 3 years was kind of different, but what's coming is probably going to be slightly bigger. And we have to look after ourselves. We have to look after our health, physical, mental, emotional, social. We've got to stick together. We can't deal with conflict anymore because it's overloading the system and the body will break down more. We have to come together. We have to unite, and we have to also remember that in the midst of this storm, we have to also find joy. Raising our vibrations, if we talk energy, obviously looking after our physical, that's one thing, but it's only one thing. It's only one thing. There's so much more to health and wellness, so much more. And sometimes people ask me, why do you do what you do? Because I could have chosen a different career. And I tell you what, when I was younger and I had the choice of deciding which direction to go, academically, my teachers wanted me either to do engineering at the time or become a medical practitioner. Because I had very good grades and I had the options and I had choice, which I was very blessed with having that choice. Hello guys, thanks for joining me. Let's see if we can have some bubbles and maybe some fireworks. There we go, welcome. Make sure you comment below. And when I do fireworks, I just lose the thread. Yes, back to when I was younger. I had the options of going one way or the other. And because I had good grades and I had the blessing of, I guess having that option that I could choose literally which direction I wanted to go, I still chose to follow my heart, and that was to follow the sporting path. And I chose that instead of moving to another city and study, medicine or study physiotherapy. I studied a course in the city I was from, and it was in sports education. So I reflect on, I kind of think, thank God that I didn't end up as a medical practitioner, and I chose the right path. As a medical practitioner, everyone has to make an oath, and that is do no harm. Now, that's a big one, isn't it? And what I listened to was really interesting. The first thing as a practitioner or someone that has that authority and I guess the trust, because they got that authority and they wear a white coat and they say you've got to be doing something, and not question what does harm to people's wellness. It's a huge thing, isn't it? And these are the things we've got to be coming up and dealing with. So these 2 years have had many, many, many different, has a very different impact and a lot of impact on a lot of people. And now I think wellness is going to be more important than anything. It's going to, it's basically my life, and it will be even more so. Some people ask me, why are you doing what you're doing? I could be doing something else because I'm passionate about helping people. I'm passionate about, and it's not about money, it's about helping people. The money, yeah, it's nice. You deserve to be rewarded with what you do, of course, like anyone else. But if you don't have health, what have you got? You can sit there in a bucket of money and not have health, and all you wish for is health. So, yeah, some people ask, why am I doing the new online business, what I'm sharing now with an incredible product? By the way, I'm going to do a sharing in Sweden, not in Sweden, over Zoom in the Swedish. I'm yet to finish my presentation. I've got a lot of work to do. It's 9:30 here. I'm going to be doing the presentation 6 a.m. So if any Swedish people are here, if you want to watch the recording, I will record it. And you can watch it afterwards. And if you watch this now, I'd love to have you there 6 a.m. Even if you're English, you can watch it and be entertained. It will be done in Swedish, of course. But yeah, I was reflecting on my big why in life and what I do. And I go, well, it's more important than anything that I help people feel better now. And if I have a solution to do that, boy, oh boy, I reckon I'll be busy. Obviously with that product that I am helping people with, which helps with, by the way, what people have been impacted with in the last 3 years. And you know what I'm talking about. This product absolutely helps people. And so many people have been affected physically. Of course, all the other aspects too, but physically, let's face it. And people are going to want to feel better. They're going to have to do things that are going to help them feel better. They're going to have health and wellness, health and mental support to deal with when things are coming out more in the open. So I am definitely here to help and support people. But I had that moment when I was reflecting how it had impacted on my life. And to give you guys a bit of an idea, I guess it's not until afterwards, it's like the aftermatch, you realize kind of how traumatic it was at the time to be in the position that I was in, where I saw things unfold and I couldn't help particularly close people in my life that I really love. That's probably the hardest thing that I've ever experienced. And also be excluded. Also be, what do they say? Treated like absolutely appallingly because of a choice you make. Losing financially, literally everything. And losing relationships. Losing belongings, basically letting go of everything. So I was reflecting on that, and I got back to health is wealth. It doesn't matter what you own, doesn't matter what you have. If you don't have health, all those areas that I was talking about, what have you got? So guys, it's about getting our priorities right from now on. Get your priorities right. Start to ask yourself the real questions from now on, what's important to you. And start to focus on the things that are going to help other people around you, that are going to impact other people around you. Because we're going to have a huge need for people to be there for other people. And we also got to be there for ourselves. I took off on a journey over 2 years ago without knowing where I was going, what I was going to do, how I'm going to make ends meet. And that was interesting. It was the ultimate trust and surrender. And at the moment I am in this little place here in the mountains, which is a very healing place, where I am now focusing a lot on self-care, self-acceptance, self-love, forgiveness, lots of letting go, slowly chipping away with building myself up, and on the same time helping other people, impacting on people's lives. So I am more than ever passionate about being in this space. And there's so much ego out there still. Probably have to become a little bit more knocked, I think, the ego about being righteous and, hanging on to some beliefs that are not going to serve us. It ended up being a long live, this too. I'm going to stop in a moment. But I just want to say, if you are here, please write in the comments. You can give me some stars. I'd love, if you support my content, please consider giving me some stars so I can share more of my thoughts. And of course, if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and you put the notifications on. I post content every day when it comes from body, mind, spirit stuff and things that can assist you to grow, step into your authentic self, to transform your health and wellness end your life. So please reflect on, what does it mean, health, to you? And what would you do what would you think about if you didn't have health? How do you want the rest of your life to be? And who do you want to do your life's journey with? Who do you want to journey with? Ask yourself the most important questions, and I think that we will come together, even if we've had different opinion in the last 3 years. I think that we will unite and we'll come together, and that will be a beautiful thing. But there will be a lot of hearts that's going to have to be held. So thank you for watching this live. I'm very grateful for you being here and watching me here. That's it. I'll be posting this, of course, on YouTube as well. So I would love to hear your comments. And if you are Swedish, you can expect a Swedish presentation with this incredible new product that can really have a huge impact on your health in so many ways. If you are Swedish, it will be at 8 p.m. on Monday in the evening. Look forward to seeing you then. Look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.